already in our last class we discussed some of the things in regarding to the changes in national income and per capita income in India, and along with this we studied the important things which are concerned with the backdrop to the national income studies, national income and other introductory part we were completed in last class and previous class also. And one more thing, we also discussed about the emergence of the CSO. CSO already I explained, I was mentioned in our last class that the Central Statistical Organization was established in the month of in the year of So in 1954, the Central Statistical Organization was started. It was a responsible organization for the estimation of national income of our country since from the 1954. So it is presented the details of సార్ శ్రావణ్ సార్ ఇప్పుడు రావట్లేదు కదా ఇప్పుడు చెప్పనా ఓకే సో Central Statistical Organization was played a very important role in estimating the national income of our nation, as well as presented the details of national income, and it was enumerated account of the national income from the 1954, and by the till date they try to present the information regarding to this national income. And one more thing, in last class we studied about the share of in last class more particularly we studied about the national changes in national income and per capita income in India. These trends was the trends of national income and per capita income was we have studied in the last class. At the same time, it is better to go for all the slides what you have completed. This is the introductory part which is concerned with the introduction, and this is national income, national wealth, a backdrop to the national income studies, then the importance of national income, and emergence of CSO, then changes in the national income and per capita income in India, and the trends in national income and per capita income. Then the net national income of factor cost and per capita income was, it is mentioned, net national income and factor cost and the per capita income NNI was presented in the diagramical representation. Then today's class we are going to discuss about the growth rates of national income and the per capita income in percentage. So already we studied about the national income estimation. The national income was enumerated, national income, volume of national income, the total quantity of national income in terms of the crores. This was presented in our last class from the 1951 to the 2017 and 2018, in which we stated that in 1951 our volume of net national income was, that is 2,69,724 rupees as per the 2004 and 2005 prices, and it reached to the 1,14,04,413 crores of the amount was generated in our economy. From our economy, this is the volume of amount of money which is generated in our economy from different sectors of our economy. That is a contribution made by the public sector, private sector, what you say, that is a agriculture sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. So that's the volume, the total amount of money which is turned out. It is a market value of the final goods and services which are produced in the economy, that was mentioned in the volume in terms of the crores. But today's class we are going to see the growth rates of national income and per capita income in terms of the percentage, and what percentage of national income was increased from time to time within the 10 years of time from 1950 to 61, and what is the per capita income, and the per capita along with the per capita income in current prices and per capita income at constant prices also, which is presented here. You may see that In this table, almost we are seeing this the table in which there is a given data for the 1950-51 to the 60-61 to 2004 to the 2013 and 14. This data was given. And one more thing, I am requesting the students, and don't worry about this data. Almost it is a detailed data. It is presented for you, but we don't want to by heart the entire data. It is only for observation. Only for the knowledge point of view, we are going to present the entire data. But there is no need to by heart the entire data, and don't go for and remember the total data. But you have to observe the things. Why the national income, the per capita income in percentage is go on decreasing. Sometimes it is increasing. There is no stable growth rate in the economy. There is a ups and downs in the economy. There is a there's a fluctuations in the economy. There is no stable growth. We are not achieved throughout the year since from the 1950-51 to the till date of time, because of the many factors have played very important role, and many changes came in our society, especially the political factors, social factors, economic factors, the constitutional factors, and in addition to this, the population factor. The population factor also played very important role. Along with this one, the technological changes and the institutional changes and environmental changes also brought down a lot of changes, drastic changes in our economy, and many more changes was brought down due to this. Each and every change, every factor that was played very important role, that was showed. Sometimes it is a positive role on the economy, sometimes it was played a negative role, and it was affected. The national income was affected, the per capita income was affected. Suppose if you see, first of all, the per capita income is not increasing in corresponding with the changes in the national income level. You may see that the per capita income, you may see that it is 2.3, 1.2, 0.63, and there is you may see that the national income was 4.2, 3.5, 2.9, 5.2, like this. It is go on changing from the duration of the year, but the corresponding change is not getting in the per capita income level, because of it's the impact of growth of population. Heavy size of population is growing in our economy. Because of the heavy size of population, high size of the population in the economy, that was concealed the growth of per capita income, and the equivalent growth to the inconsistent with the national income is not achieved in per capita income, because of the impact of the size of the population, the growth of the population. It is a tremendous change, a drastic change was taking place in the population. You may see that our population has been increased from within 36 crores of the population within the 30 years of the span, that is from 1951 to the 80-81, our total population was increased by the 36 crores at the rate of the 2.4% of the rate of growth was recorded. Even from 1981 to the 91, it was 2.34% of the growth rate of the population was there. Our population was reached to the at present 137 crores of the population. Because of the impact of the growth of the population, the equivalent, the corresponding change was not taken place along with the per capita income with the national income. So you may see that one more thing, you may see that very particularly from 1951 to the 60-61, the national income was increased at the constant prices. Only 4.2% of growth rate was achieved during the 10 years of period, whereas the per capita income was increased by the only 2.3%. It means the equivalent growth of per capita income is not taken place along with the national income, because of the growth of the population. The denominator became the heavy size than the numerator. When the population total national income is divided with the size of the population, will get the per capita income. So because of the heavy size of the population, automatically the corresponding change of national income is not reached to the 4.2 equal to the national income. It is only recorded that 2.3% of the per capita income was achieved in our economy, and it is not equal to the 4.2 just like national income, because of the impact of the population. So in this way, the social factors, economic factors, population factors, and other technical factors, constitutional factors, and some other factors like the institutional factors also played a very important role in contribution of national income, and that was showing that it is not the clear picture, it is not the stable growth in the economy. There are ups and downs in the economy, some fluctuations in the economy. Sometimes the national income is increasing in a constant rate, but per capita income is coming down. Because of the number of reasons are there, we will go through one by one. We are going to be concerned with that particular part. So very particularly, we can say that between 1950-51 to the 60-61, the national income was increased by the 4.2% per annum, and the per capita income was only the 2.3%. So there is a less growth in the per capita income when you are comparing with the national income. In the same way, suppose if you want to consider the growth rate which is achieved per annum in the national income concern, in between 1960-61, it was come down to the 4.2% to the 3.5%. So even 4.2% is the nominal rate of growth what we are achieved, which is less than our target, less than our goal. But even it is come down within the next 10 years of time, it is come down to 3.5%, whereas per capita income is very low. It is 1.2% of the per capita income was recorded per annum during the period of the 1961 to the 70-71. So it is a great hamper on the economy. It is a great impact on the economy because of the certain reasons. More particularly, in between 1961 to 71, there is certain changes was taken place. Especially 1962, there is the India China war, Bharat China war, and 1965 Bharat Pakistan war. Thereafter, in 1971, again Bharat Pakistan wars came accidentally and unexpectedly. This we have to participate in the war, and we are spending a large scale amount of money, large scale investment of money, but that was diverted and make use of for the war needs. That was became a great hamper for the economic development. We are not in a position to achieve the proper estimated and determined growth rate and in the economy because of the Bharat Pakistan war, the lack of because of the Indo-China war, and the second time at the time of the emergence of the Bangladesh in this 1971, again one war was taken place, and due to these three wars, almost our economy was hampered. It is a 1.2%. Then one more thing, during this period, after the completion of the second 5-year plan, we are unable to start the third 5-year plan immediately. But after when the third 5-year plan was started, the wars came into force. We were make use of the almost all war needs for the purpose of these purpose. Then it is coming down. And one more thing, some drought conditions are there. Natural calamities also came down, especially in 67 and 68 academic year. In financial year, these 2 years, there is a consequence of the drought conditions was taking place that was greatly hampered our economy, and then we faced the problem of the food grain production, and we came to the situation just like the 1947 situation by the year of 1969 because of the wars as well as the drought situations, and we make use of all the investment for the purpose of the war news. That became a great trouble for us. Thereafter, we will go for the compare the national income growth in between 1971 to the 1981. It is come down to the 2.9. It is a downtrend from the 4.2 to the 2.9. It is very what is a disappointing rate of growth what you are achieving national income, even though we are going for the planned economic development in the economy, but because of the war needs and what you said, the third 5-year plan became utter flattened, and we are facing the problem of the food grain problem also by the year of 1969. We try to even our economy is the agriculture based economy, agriculture oriented economy, but we are not in a position to provide the required quantity of the food grains by the year of 1961 because of the drought situation and the natural calamities which were taken place in the economy, and we were imported the food grains from some of the countries of the world. And just like the PL 480 scheme was introduced, with the help of the PL 480, we imported the food grains and the wheat and rice from the America. So that was a situation, that was a worst condition, the worst situation created in our economy after 1947 because of these needs, and it has come down to the very low level. Even it is not even a single digit level, it has come to the fraction level, that is a 0.6% of the per capita income was it is achieved during this period because of the more particularly because of the impact of the high growth of the population in the economy. Then suppose if you go for the after 1981 to the 1991, but 1951 to the 1981, this is the 30 years of period, is the 3 decades of period is a more disappointing one. It is only the 2.9% of growth rate recorded in the national income, and the 0.6% of the almost nil rate of the per capita income growth was taking place in the economy. and that's a worst situation we face. It's almost all economic crisis situation what we are seeing in the economy. But after 1981 to the 1991, in between time, there is a somewhat better things what we were achieving. The healthy growth was reached, and the uptrend was started. That is 5.2% of growth rate was recorded in national income, and the per capita income increased by the 3%. It was somewhat happy for us, and better growth we were achieved during this period. It's better than the period of 1971 and 81, this period. Then suppose if you go for the further 1991 to 2001, it is reached to the 5.5%. So we can say it is a healthy growth rate what was started. Almost all we are upcoming all the obstacles, all the barriers of the economy, and reach to the 5.5%, which is a somewhat better growth rate per annum. And the per capita, which is Rajkrishna says that, the Professor Rajkrishna says that we were reached the Hindu rate of growth after the 1991 to the 2001. That is a 5.5%. It means at least we are meeting our requirements, basic needs of the people is meeting through this growth rate. That was 5.5%. It's a better growth rate, a healthy growth rate what we are achieving in the economy, and the per capita income was even still it is the 3.4%. It's a low level. Then we will go through the 2001 and 2004 period. It's a very advanced stage. That is because of the impact of the new economic reforms. The new economic reforms was brought down in economy by introduction of the 1991 industrial policy resolution. So the new economic reforms was brought down into the economy due to the impact of the new economic reforms, LPG policy, liberalization, globalization, and privatization policy, and upgradation of the economy, and a fast rate of growth was taking place in the economy. That is a 7.5% of growth rate what we are achieved in the economy, but a reasonable and noticeable and persistible growth was achieved in the per capita income by 5.9% by the year of the 2004 and the 5. Then after, it is the highest growth rate what it is recorded in our economy. Then after, we will go for the 20 years of period. What happened to this is the growth rate, the almost all growth rate achieved in the economy. Then after, we go for the average growth rate in these 3 years from the 1951 to the 1981. The net national income at constant prices is increased by 3.4%. Per capita income is 1.4% averagely, and this is the growth rate during the 30 years of period, that is during the 3 decades of our planned economic development in the economy. Then in between 1981 to the 1991, already it is a 5.6% here mentioned. Almost all is a 3.5%, 5.6% in the economy that was recorded, and it is reached to the per capita income is reached to the 3.2%. It is somewhat better percentage of growth what we are achieving in the economy after the 1980-81. Then from the 2001 to the 2004 and 5, this is the average growth of per annum is 6.4%, and the 4.7% of the per capita income growth was taking place in the economy. In between 2004 to the 2014, it is recorded at the highest rate of the national income was increased in our economy. That is a 7.3% per annum. The national income was increased in our economy. The per capita income is a somewhat better level. When you are comparing the first 10 years, second 10 years, third 10 years, it's a worst situation. Only it was even not the single digit position at the time of 1980-81, but it was a better level of the growth, and it's appreciable growth rate was achieved in the per capita income level. Why? Because after the 1990s, almost all we brought down the certain changes in the economy, try to control the size of the population, try to come down the birth rates up to the minimum level, try to optimize the size of the population, and the rate of growth of economy was increased at rapid growth. That too, because of these two things, automatically the economy became a recovery stage. And one more thing, this is a constant prices of the growth rate of national income and the per capita income during this period. And we go for at a glance, the national income at current prices and the per capita income at current prices, we will see at a glance, it is a 5.5% during the 1950-51 to 60-61, and whereas the per capita income is raised by the only 3.2%. Even it is not equivalent to the per capita income growth is not equal to the national income level because of the growth of population already we mentioned. Then the rate of growth of national income was 9.9%. It's a high rate of growth what we are achieved in the economy. The per capita income was increased by 7.5%. As for these constant the current prices equivalent. Then in between this period 1971 to the 1881, 11.7% of growth rate. It is the highest growth rate what was recorded in the 30 years of period, that is 11.7. The per capita income is increased by 22.9.21. Whereas the in between the period of 1981 to the 1981, the 14.2, whereas the per capita income is come down by it is a 81.81. It is most disappointing stage. It is the most lowest rate which is recorded, just like this previous stage, like 1960-61, this stage. Then after, the growth rate was rapidly increased to the 14% by the year of post-reform period, post-economic reform period, because of introduction of the expansion of the private sector and open the doors for the private sector. LPG policy was announced and restricted the activities of the public sector. Automatically it was increased, but the per capita income is a disappointing stage, 1.9% per annum, because of the size of the growth of the population was hampered a lot because of this one. At the same time, the 2001 and 2012, 4 and 5, in between the 5 years of period, is per annum it is the rate of growth was 12.4. The per capita income was 10.7. It is a recovery stage, almost all it is a recovery stage. Then a small fraction of change was taken place. Some come down situation, crisis situation again taken place from the 1950-51. This is the highest rate of growth what was achieved in our economy, the 14%, 12.4%, 14.4%. So it's a almost a record growth rate what our economy. Because of this rate growth, India became a global emerging nations. Just like China, we reached to the 12% of rate of growth of economy, which is the highest rate of growth next to the China. China has a more than 14% of the rate of growth of economy per annum, but India has 12.4%. Means India became a stage to the global emerging nation because of the 2004 and 14 is a very good appreciable stage. Then again in 50-51 to the 80-81 is the 9%, 6.1%, and 81 to the 2001, 14.1, 11.8, and 10.5 is in between the 2001 and 2005, and 3.6 in the period of the same period for the per capita income, and 14.9% of the highest rate of growth of economy was recorded. It is identified during the period of the 2004 and 2013 and 14. The national income at current prices and 13.4% of the growth rate was taking place in the economy. So this is the highest growth rate what we are achieving in the economy. And once again, I'm requesting the students, don't bother about the total data or the entire data. It is a data presented for the only sake of the information. It is only presented for the your knowledge purpose only, and to know how the economy is going up and down, how the fluctuations are taking place, why the fluctuations are taking place, what are the reasons, what are the factors played to upcoming of the economy and going down of the economy. That can be to know those things. We presented the entire data. We try to explain the complete data, but nothing to worry about this data. Just you have to keep in your mind at least the every 10 years, at least 5 or 51 to 61, 61 to 71, 1991, 2001, and 2004, levels of data is enough for you. But for effective presentation, for that it is enough, and don't try to buy the entire data. It is not possible for anybody. And already I told you, you are not the computers, you are not the robots. There is no need of this much of data is not required for you. It is only meant for the information and for the presented for the knowledge point of view. And for the more effective presentation of these data, what was mentioned in the 3.2 growth rates of national income per capita income, that was presented with the help of a bar diagram. So the black color things, these are national income at constant prices was 4.2 in between 1950-51 to 60-61. It is reached to 3.5 by the year of 60-61 to the 70-71. By it come down to 2.9, just like what I was stated previously in the table. And in between this period, 1971 to the 80-81, and this go up to the 5.2% during the period of 80-81 to the 1991. It is reached to the 5.5. Some uptrend was taken place. Then after, in between this period, 2001 to the 2004 and 5, this growth 5.5% growth rate was reached to the 7.5%. Then in between, again, we are taking back to the 30 years of period of the growth rate after these two things, the 3.5%. It reached to 5.6% by the year 2080-81, and then it reached to the 6.4% by the 2001-2005, and it reached to the 4 and 5, 4 and 5 to the 13 and 14 to reach to the 7.3%. So these are the growth rate what were achieved in the national income in percentage per annum, and with the help of the bar diagram it is presented. Then let's go for these blue color bars. The blue color bars indicating the per capita income during the same period, during the 1951 to the 2013 and 14, the 2.3, it is come down to the 1.2, then 0.6, come up to the 3 and 3.4%, and 5.9%, 1.4%, 3.4%, 4.7, and again finally it is come to the 5.8% as per these per capita income at constant prices of 1999 and 2000 year. At the same time, national income at constant prices. Let's go for the constant prices. We are going to see this is the blue color, the sky blue color. This sky blue color bars are showing that the 5.5% during this period 2050-51 to 60-61, and it reached to the 9.9% bar. This is the highest bar what you are seeing, better than this 5.5%. 1961 to the 70-71, it is increased to the 11.7 by the year of the 70-71 to 80-81, and even it is coming up to the 14.2. Then it is reached to the 14 by the year of the almost 80-81, 14 by the year of the 1991 to the 2001, 12.4%. Then after it is the 14.1 by the year of the 81 to the 2001. This was in between 2004 and 5 to the 2013 and 14. It reached to the almost it is the highest level, that is the 14.9% of growth rate what was achieved. To show this bar diagram. This is the highest level bar diagram what we are seeing. Finally, this is the 3.2. This is the purple color. This is the purple color which is showing that the 3.2, and it is 7.5, 9.21, 1.81, 1.9, and 10.7, 6.7. It is a 1.8 and 3.6, and finally it is a 13.6% of rate of growth which was achieved in the economy. This is a bar diagramical representation of the growth of per capita income and national income per annum during the period of 1951 to the 1981. In previous class, we studied about the volume of amount in terms of crores, in terms of rupees, that was studied in our last class. Today's class, we analyzed about how the rate of growth of the national income and per capita income per annum in percentage. This was presented with the help of the even this what you say, that is bar diagrams also, but actually it is not mentioned in the textbook also. For the effective presentation, I was prepared the bar diagrams for the effective presentation of this one. Then one more thing, almost all the tables and data which is concerned with the two aspects that will be completed by the tomorrow. With the only 2 days of time, we have the explaining the data because the total data, how the trend is going on, how it is trending, how it is changing, the per capita income, national income in quantity, in terms of money, in terms of rupees, in terms of the what you say, that is per annum in percentage, that was presenting. Then almost within 1 day, the part of all these data will be over. Thereafter, we will go for the plain lesson, the remedial measures, causes and the consequences. This seems to be very plain one. There is no need of the much data. So once again, going through this table, that is during the period of the above table that was made, what was we seen the table during the 1980-81, there was a very very perceptible improvement in the growth of during this period. It is a perceptible means it is a noticeable change was taking place in between 1981 during the growth rate of the per capita income and the what you said, that is national income. During the 81 to the 91, NNI, net national income, raised at the growth of 5.2% per annum. The per capita income was increased by the only 3% per annum at 1991 and 2000 prices. This was already mentioned in our tables and bar diagrams also. And during the 2 decades of, that is 1980-81 to the 2001, NNP growth rate was, it is a 5.6%, and per annum and per capita income was increased by 3.2%. So these are the highlights of the table and the table and the graphic presentation. Why? Because suppose we are not in a position to by heart the entire data, it becomes difficult. Then you can write like this also, and it is somewhat better to the keep in your mind, and it's better for you for the preparation of this topic. And this part is over. Then let us go for the annual growth rates of the national income and per capita income during the plan period. And one more thing, so far we studied the trends and the changes of the national income and per capita income, in size, in quantity, in terms of money, in the last class. And today's class we discussed in percentage. Now we are going to see the annual growth rates of national income and per capita income during the plan period. You know that the India started the planned economic development from the 1951 by introduction of the first 5-year plan. So the planned era was started in our economy from 1951. So Indian economy is a planned economic development, planned economy. It is a planned economic development is the aim and object of our economy. So we started the planned economic development from 1951. The planned era was started in our economy from 1951, and the first 5-year plan was started from 1951, and the totally 12 5-year plans up to 2017. 12 5-year plans we were planned, and it was formulated. It was implemented. It was executed from time to time. The period will be, I will be mentioned one by one when we are going to discuss all these things. So what you said, that is the various plans, national income and per capita income, growth of the national income and per capita income during the various plans, that is up to the 12 plans. Suppose the first 5-year plan. The first 5-year plan was started in between 1951 to the 1950, during the period of 1951 to the 56. During this period, the first 5-year plan was started in our economy. This was launched by the government of India in between 1951 to the 56 period, with the top priority given to the agriculture sector, because at the time of the 1951, we have a shortage of the food grain production. The people are suffering of lack of food. There is a scarcity of food grains. The people are suffering from the hungriness. That is the main and basic problem of the people at the time of the first 5-year plan. So the government of India, more particularly the planning commission, was given topmost priority to the agriculture and irrigation development. For that, large scale amount of money was allocated. Large scale amount of investment was allocated towards the development of the agriculture sector, with the main aim is to achieve the agriculture growth in the economy. For that, we started the agriculture sector development in the first 5-year plan in between 1951 to 56. During this plan, the national income was increased by the 4.4%, whereas per capita income was increased by the 2.6% only per annum. It is not for the 5 years of period, it is a per annum. During this period, in the first 5-year plan, we are going to analyze as per the plan wise the growth rate in the economy. As for the plan wise growth rate in the economy, national income was increased by the 4.4%, per capita income was increased by 2.6% in the first 5-year plan consent. But again, after the completion of the first 5-year plan, the second 5-year plan was started from the 1956 to the 61. It is the second 5-year plan period. So in which the government of India was given topmost priority. The planning commission was given topmost priority for the expansion of the big and large scale industries. And it is nothing but the big push strategy. Big push strategy was adopted to achieve the large scale, the production and the capital goods production. It was a top priority of the national goals and plan priority. With this 1951 to the 56, this plan was started, and during this period, the national income was increased by the only 3.8%, and per capita income was come down to the 1.7%. The second 5-year plan was become utter flop because of the heavy investment plan was prepared, document was prepared, but it was taken a lot of time to produce the capital goods. During this period, the government expenditure led more income for the people. The people are demanded for the consumer goods, not the capital goods. Because of the shortage of the capital goods, the price of the goods and services has been increased rapidly, and that was caused a drastic impact on the economy. It come down to 3.8%. The first 5-year plan was somewhat successful, but the second 5-year plan became utter flop in achieving its own target, and national income was come down to the 3.18%, per capita income was come down to 1.7%. It's less than the first 5-year plan. Then in third 5-year plan, the duration of the third 5-year plan is 1961 to the 1966. During this period, the third 5-year plan was implemented with the priority of the stable economic growth rate in the economy, and avoiding the almost all food grain production in the economy. For that, again given the topmost priority for the agriculture sector, and the green revolution was came in the during this period. The green revolution was became successful. It is a trend setting in the economy, but it was only the achieved the 2.6% and the 0.4% of the low growth rate of per capita income was achieved in the economy because of the already I stated the 1962 Bharat China War, 1965 Bharat Pakistan War, 1971 again Bharat Pakistan war came, and unexpected the war needs are became the very problem for us. We try to allocate the total amount of money towards the war needs and war requirements and defense purpose. The planned expenditure was spent on the war purpose. Not only this problem, again there is a consequence of 2 years continuously. There is a drought situation. That's the 1967-68 years. The drought situation was taken place. So because of all these reasons, almost all the economy became stagnant position. The per capita income was very near level. Even it is come down to the fraction level, and because of the even impact of the size of growth of the population. And fourth 5-year plan, the fourth 5-year plan. Fourth 5-year plan was also, it is implemented in between 1969 to 74. In period, the 1969 to 74, this period the national income was increased by 3.1%. The per capita income was, it is a low level, just like the third 5-year plan. This was low level because of the high growth of the population in the economy, high birth rates in the economy, and a high size of the population was hampered the economy a lot, and the per capita income was not equal to the corresponding changes in the per capita income. This was happened during the fourth 5-year plan. Again, the fifth 5-year plan. The fifth 5-year plan was started in our economy from 1974 to the 1979. During this period, the fifth 5-year plan was implemented, and this period almost all with the 4.9% of growth rate was achieved in national income level, and 2.6% is the better rate of growth achieved in during the fifth 5-year plan. It is somewhat better growth what we are achieved because of we try to go for the unemployment eradication program and minimum needs program, food for work program, and other employment generation programs was taken up, and Garibi Hatao, and these are some of the programs was implemented by the government of India towards the avoiding the poverty in the economy, providing the employment opportunities in the economy, and rural development programs also taken up from the fifth 5-year plan onwards. So better prospects was taking place in the economy. Then let's go for the sixth 5-year plan that is implemented in between the 1980 to the 8085. So during this period, especially the employment generation programs, employment oriented program, rural development program, and youth development programs are taken up, and it was mostly concentrated on the expansion of the providing employment for the more and more employment for the people, and to avoid the poverty in the economy, eliminate the poverty in the economy by providing the employment opportunities. With this target, this sixth 5-year plan was started, and it was only achieved by the 5.4% better rate of growth was achieved in the economy, and 3.1% better the per capita income was increased than the previous plans. Then seventh 5-year plan was started. This was started from 1985 to 1990. 1980 to the 85 to 90. During this period, this was started. In this period, almost all seventh 5-year plan, almost all 5.5% of growth rate was achieved in the national income level, and 3.3%. The corresponding change of equivalent change was not taken place in per capita income in relation with the national income, but it is a uptrend is taking place. 1.7%, 0.48 to 26, 2.6, 3.1, 3.3 means better prospects what you are taking place in the per capita income growth rate during the 7th five-year plan. Again, 8th five-year plan was started from 1982 to 92 to 97. In between 1992 to 97, the 8th five-year plan was implemented, and this is the what you say is the post period of the new economic reforms that led to the fast rate of growth of economy, that's 6.7%. The rapid growth of economy was taken place from post reform period, that is 6.7% growth rate was taken place, and it is used per capita income increase by the 4.5%. And 9th five-year plan was started in between then 1997 to the 2002. Then it is a better growth rate was taken place, but it is come down. It is not equivalent to the 8th five-year plan. 8th five-year plan, but it's a better growth rate operated in the 9th five-year plan. In 10th plan concerned with the 2002 to the 2007, in between this period, the high rate of growth have taken place because of the technological upgradation, and lifted the ban on the technological imports and FDI, and liberation policy was adopted. Post reforms period shows impact on the 9th five-year plan, 10th five-year plan, and the persistible and noticeable high growth rate in the per capita income was increased in the 10th five-year plan. Then 2007. Hello. In the 2007 to the in between 2007 to 2012, 11th five-year plan was implemented. The rate of growth of national income was raised, it is reached to the 7.6%. Per capita income was the appreciable rate of growth of per capita income was taking place at the 6.6. So you may see the uptrend, total uptrend in the per capita income level during the each and every plan except the first five-year plan, and even in the 11th or 12th five-year plan also it's the uptrend, that is 8% of national income. The per capita income details are not given. So this is the annual growth rates of national income and per capita income during the plan period. So it is also data presented for you for the information shape only, not for the by hearting. Don't go for by hearting the things, but you keep in mind some certain changes are taking place. First plan, second plan, third plan. Some uptrend in the per capita income. Sometimes the per capita income national is coming down and going up and down. There the fluctuations are taking place. Why the fluctuations are taking place? It is just because of the when the 5 years plans are getting failed, 5 year plans are failing, it is not reaching its own targets. Sometimes it is becoming it is not in a position to achieve the targets in a stipulated time, that will be affected the per capita income and these national income. Then we will go for the in brief. The above data can be presented with the help of these in the words. The 3.3 table. The annual growth of national income and the per capita income plans has been presented above 3.3 people. On reviewing the performance of the economy between 1951 and 2013, the right goal set out in the first and second plans, they turn out to be it is somewhat disappointing. It is a disappointing level of the growth rate which was achieved in our economy. But even though the slow growth rate was recorded, but it's not the highest rate of growth what were as per our expectation, as per our goals, it is not reached, but slow growth was taken. However, during the 22 years of period, that is from the 1991, 92 to the 2012 and 13, the rate of growth of per capita income has significantly higher. It was better rate of growth what were achieved. You may see that after the fourth five-year plan, almost the fifth to sixth five-year plan, there is a high rate of growth which is recording. There is an uptrend in the economy except the seventh five-year plan. Then after the 4.7% per annum this period compared to 2.3% of the earlier decades. When we are comparing with the earlier decades, is a better growth of rate was achieved in the economy. This is during the plan period. So this is the another part of the completion of this was taken place. Then let us go for the another angle for the how the national income is contributed. The national income is contributed sectoral contribution to the national income is we have to study. There is a sectoral contribution to the national income, which is the most important topic for the 5 marks questions. Every year it's a routine question, repeated question. Regularly the question is asking, that is the sectorial, what is explain the sectorial contribution to the national income of our country. It is compulsory question. It is a routine question. It is a very, very important question in short question point of view. That's the 5 marks question they will asking. So it is very easy to write, easy to understand, and easy to present the answer also. Nothing to worry. You know that the sectorial contribution means sector-wise contribution of national income. How the primary sector, secondary sector-wise means primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. 3 sectors of economy. How much quantity of national income is getting from the first sector, primary sector? How much quantity of national income is provided by the second sector? And what is the contribution of the third sector? That can be explained in a tabular format. How the primary sector, secondary sector contributing its own the contribution of national income that was presented in this sectoral contribution of national income. So it is a very good question, compulsory question. It's an important question. It's a routine question in intermediate examinations. So you have to keep in your mind it's an easy question, easy to write, easy to understand, and easy to present the answer. Nothing to worry. And once again, I'm repeating this one. It is a very good question. We have to get prepared for the even examination point of view to get the highest score in the economy. So the analysis of sectoral contribution is equally important as a trends in the national income. So national income trends is changes in national income and changes in the national income during the plan period and the sector wise is important. Just like the trending, just like the contribution of national income equally important. Just like the trends in national income changes. The table 3.4, the table 3.4 presented detailed information in this regarding. From the table 3.4, it can be said that the present service sector is playing a dominant role, contributing the major source of the GDP of our GDP. Previously, it was only the 1/3 of GDP of our nation. Our nation in the share of the agriculture was declined enormously. So this is the 3 sectors of economy, sector-wise contribution of national income to the total national income of our country, total GDP to our country. So this was presented, and this will be continued in the tomorrow's class because almost of the time is over. This part will be continued, and the students, I am requesting the students once again, nothing to worry about this data, nothing to worry about this information which is regarding the text. We will try to simplify the things. We will try to give the complete picture to you, and you try to bring up to the level of your understanding level, and try to focus on this question. Remaining part of this previous 2-3 classes are not important for the examination point of view, only for information point of view, and we will continue the same part of the continuation from tomorrow class. Have a nice day. Thank you, Ravinder. Thank you.